to be a great fighter in the UFC, you have to have a chin. Whether you like it or not, you are going to get punched in the face at some point in your career. And having a good chin can make or break a great fighter. You look at somebody like Cody Garbrandt or Phil Hawes, who have all around great skill sets, but they can't take a punch. And I feel like being able to take a punch is one of the most important attributes in the sport of MMA. And so that is what we are going to be talking about today. Tony Has Died, will be breaking down the top 10 best chins in the UFC right now. Couple ground rules before we get into this. This is not an all-time great list, so no people like John Jones, no Nate Diaz. And this is also people that have their chin still. So no like Tony Ferguson, who is still fighting, but his chin is gone. You know what I'm saying? So let's get straight into the video. Starting with the honorable mentions. The first honorable mention I want to talk about is Chito Vera. Now, say what you will about Chito Vera's style and the fact that he looks like a created custom character that you click randomize on, right? But Chito Vera, despite having fought elite strikers like Sean O'Malley, Dominic Cruz, Corey Sandhagen, Jose Aldo, he's never been knocked out once. He's been dropped and hurt a couple of times, most notably the time against Davidson Figueiredo where he got dropped by him in their fight. But besides that, he's never really been hurt in the UFC. He can absorb heavy shots. He's eaten head kicks, spinning attacks, clean power shots, and he really just relies on his chin for his style. He kind of just takes a lot of damage and then lands the knockout shot. And that knee that Sean O'Malley landed against him in their second fight, no clue how that didn't knock him out. So first honorable mention, I got to talk about Chito Vera. The next honorable mention is Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is his chin is insane because of his like activity in the UFC. He's fought people like Wonderboy, Ponzinibbio, MVP, Hamzat. I know that was not a good striking example, but he's fought killer after killer after killer. He fights so often, and he barely ever gets hurt. He eats clean shots. But the reason I have him in the honorable mentions and not in the top 10 is because he seems to have been getting hurt a little bit more in his fights. He got dropped by D-Rod and he got dropped by Michelle Olajaychuk. But you go back even further in his career, he got hit, like the Wonderboy fight especially. He was getting hit with clean strikes, literally just like flush head kicks, and not like he's just eating them, you know? And he just like yaps the entire time while he's eating these shots. So yeah, you got to mention Kevin Holland when you're talking about some of the best chins in the UFC. The next person we need to talk about is Islam Makhachev, all right? I think Islam Makhachev has a very, very underrated chin. You look at the people he's fought, Dustin Poirier, Arman Tsarukyan, Volkanovski, Oliveira. These are all people that have the ability to put the fight away at any point. And yeah, he got dropped by Volk. He got wobbled by Poirier. And he has one loss by KO, and that was against Adriano Martins. And ever since that, he has not been like, he just eats shots, bro. He is such a defensively sound fighter. He doesn't get hit very often, but when he does get hit, he eats the clean shots, like especially in the Poirier fight. Poirier hit Islam as cleanly as you can hit another person, and Islam did not get dropped by it. Now, the Volk fight, you could say that Volk dropped him, but at the same time, he dropped Volk, and it wasn't like, they were like flash drops, you know? He wasn't really hurt. He has very good like defensive awareness, and he was able to recover from those shots pretty well. So you got to mention Islam Makhachev. I think he's a pretty underrated pick, but let's get into the top 10. At number 10 on my list, I got Tom Aspinall. Undefeated in the UFC besides that one like weird moment with Curtis Blades, but you look at all of his past fights, like the second fight with Blades and the fight with Pavlovich. Dude, the reason I picked Sergey Pavlovich to eat Tom Aspinall, to beat Tom Aspinall, is because I figured that if Sergey Pavlovich was able to hit Aspinall cleanly, he'd put him away. And he did. He hit this was prime Sergey Pavlovich. This is when we were talking about Sergey Pavlovich like he was King Von. This is when we were talking about Sergey Pavlovich like he was the white Francis Ngannou. And he hit Tom Aspinall clean in their fight, and he ate it. Tom Aspinall has this bad habit where he tends to kind of lean back in his fights. And he's been hit a couple of times doing that in the Blades fight and in the Pavlovich fight, but he's just eating those shots. So being able to eat shots at heavyweight, I feel like that is highly impressive. And not just that, he's fought a lot of, I wouldn't say, I mean, we'll see in the Gane fight if he can really eat shots, because I do think he's going to get hit a bunch in that fight. I do think he'll knock out Gane or submit Gane, but I do think that Gane will have some moments of success on the feet. And we'll see if Aspinall is able to eat those shots. But yeah, at number 10, I got Tom Aspinall. At number 9 on the list, I got Big Ank. Big ol' Ank. And in the division like light heavyweight with so many hard-hitting people, bro, like Jan Blachowicz, Johnny Walker, Pereira, Kutalaba, Thiago Santos, those are all people that possess some pretty good power in the division. And none of them have been able to knock out Ankalaev. Now, he did get dropped by Thiago Santos in their fight in 2022, and Ankalaev recovered instantly, stayed composed, and was able to win that fight by decision. He ate a lot of Jan Blachowicz's clean shots that he landed in their fight that ended up going to a draw. But you look at the durability this guy has, especially in the Alex Pereira fight. He was able to eat clean shots from Pereira. He's never been knocked out in the UFC ever. And so, yeah, we got to give credit where credit's due. Big Ank has one of the best chins in the UFC right now. His resume is only getting better and better, and he's going to be taking on Alex Pereira in a couple of weeks. So I'm excited to see how that goes, but Ankalaev definitely needs to be mentioned as someone with one of the best chins in the UFC right now. The next person I want to talk about is Fluffy Hernandez. Fluffy Hernandez's entire game is built on relentless pressure, close distance, forcing clinches, drowning his opponents with volume and cardio. And because of that, he gets hit with a bunch of shots. And the only way that style is able to work is because of how many shots he's been able to absorb. And most notably, I know he hasn't fought a lot of high power people yet, but the way that he's able to eat the shots from Roman Dolidze. I know it's Roman Dolidze, and that's going to be like a clown take, bro. But he was literally getting hit by Roman Dolidze clean and was just smiling at him. Literally just smiling in his face, bro. Laughing at Roman Dolidze as he hit him, bro. But he's fought a bunch of good strikers. He fought Shabazian, Michel Pereira when Michel Pereira still had aura. Pretty sure he fought Kopylov, and he's shown some ability. He's been hit in the body a couple of times. He's been hurt with body shots before. But he's just done a very good job on his run lately, eating other people's shots. He's really evolved his game. Just puts on constant pressure. Eats shots from the best people in the division like it's fucking nothing. Like he's eating them for fucking breakfast, bro. And so, gotta have Fluffy Hernandez. I think being a fat Mexican is probably the best base for MMA. For eating power shots, I guess. The Mexican chin is a legendary thing, you know? Look at Canelo Alvarez. He's never been dropped either, and he has over 50 fights. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of getting off topic here, but the durability plus the gas tank, and he's just being able to eat shots left and right like it's nothing. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Fluffy Hernandez definitely is one of the best chins in the UFC. At number 6 on my list, I got Max Blessed Holloway. Now, if you told me to make this list like a year ago, I would have put Max Holloway at number 1, no question. But we have kind of seen Max Holloway's chin start to show some chinks in the armor, you know? Even in the Justin Gaethje fight, which I know he won by brutal knockout, but he did get dropped by Justin Gaethje at one point in their fight. You look at the Dustin Poirier fight, the third fight. He got dropped by Dustin in that fight as well. And then I would be remiss to not mention the Ilia Topuria fight, where he got knocked out for the first time in his whole career. But you look past all those moments, and you look at the volume of work that Max has done besides those, he has absorbed the most strikes in UFC history and's only been knocked out one time. You know? He's fought people like Volk, Ortega, Yair, Arnold Allen, Aldo, McGregor, Poirier. Never been knocked out by any of them, man. 8 clean shots from every single one of those people, but he has been getting a little bit. His chin is just a normal chin, but it seems like he's traded his chin for power. Because we used to have this kind of discussion about Max Holloway saying that he has pillow hands. Like, he's a volume striker. He puts on entertaining fights every time, walks forward. And we used to say Max Holloway had pillow hands, but it's because he has the chin. And he did get hit cleanly more than anybody else in the UFC. And so, this idea about his mystic chin was something that we needed to talk about. But he has been dropped in his last couple of fights. No shame in that. I still think he has one of the best chins in the UFC right now. 8 clean shots from Poirier in their fight, clean shots from Gaethje. And he ate a lot of shots from Ilia Topuria that would have put a lot of people out, bro. Half of the shot, the fact that he got into the third round with that style is crazy. He was eating clean shots from Ilia in their fight. So at number 6, I got Max Holloway. And yeah, gotta mention Max Holloway for sure. Now we're getting into the top 5 of the division. And at number 5 on my list, I got Kelvin Gastelum. He's never been knocked down in his career. He has been subbed before. But I think he got dropped by Joe Pyfer. And that's the only person he's ever been dropped by. No, wait, he got dropped by Adesanya as well. But he eats, dude, the way that this dude fucking just absorbs shots, it's insane. Let's talk about that fight with Adesanya for a second. He ate clean head kicks, flying knee, and countless counter punches from one of the slickest strikers in the UFC. And he did get rocked badly. But, doesn't matter, bro. He still fucking, it was a crazy fight. Then the Cannonier and Whitaker fights. He ate clean head kick from Whitaker, clean shots from Cannonier. He fought people like Woodley, Darren Till, Jack Hermanson. Never been dropped by any of those people. Now, I will say, the fact that he has been missing weight is something that kind of makes me upset with Kelvin Gastelum, because him missing weight definitely factors in to his chin. So that is something that needs to be noted, but he's fought some of the best strikers in the UFC. He's ate their best shots. It would be dumb of me to not mention Kelvin Gastelum just because he's missed weight, because this guy's chin, man, it's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. But let's move on to the next one. At number 3 on my list, this is number 4 actually. At number 4 on my list, I got Yuri Prochazka. And Yuri's chin is a mix of iron durability and just like a reckless willingness to just test it no matter what. And that's what makes his chin so good. It's just because of how often he tests it. Yuri will fight with his hands so low. His head movement literally, there's like a picture. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Look at this shit, bro. Just look at this fucking picture, bro. He's literally just punch me in the face. Please punch me in the face. But the fight with Glover is what really made me respect Yuri's chin, because he took heavy hooks, heavy uppercuts, crazy ground and pound from Glover Teixeira, clean shots, and ate all of them, bro. The Rakic fight, faced early, pressure from Rakic early, ate Rakic's shots cleanly. He's only ever been finished by Alex Pereira, who is one of the hardest hitting UFC fighters in history. So, yes, he has been knocked out before, but it's more of a rarity than the common thing, bro. And it's against the best power puncher that we've ever seen. You look at the fight with Reyes, the fight with Oezdemir. Yuri is just completely reckless. He doesn't give a fuck. He puts his chin on the silver platter for his opponents to hit, and they fucking hit it. But it doesn't matter, because Yuri's chin, this is what makes me worried about Yuri, is that it's kind of like Tony Ferguson, where he relies on his athleticism so much and his style that once that athleticism or that chin goes away, I fear that Yuri's not going to be able to have success anymore. But that chin is what has been able to provide him a championship belt and being one of the best light heavyweights in the world right now. So I got to mention Yuri Prochazka. At number 3 on the list, I got Marvin Vettori. Let's talk about mediocre Marvin Vettori. Because when you look at Marvin Vettori's actual skill set, he really doesn't have anything besides his chin. At 185, he has fought Israel Adesanya twice, Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier, Paulo Costa, Jack Hermanson, Kevin Holland, and none of them have been able to put him away, bro. In 2023, Jared Cannonier landed over 240 clean shots on Marvin Vettori, and Marvin Vettori absorbed them all. In 2021, he literally just walked through Paulo Costa's power and won the fight. Adesanya hit him cleanly. Whittaker hit him cleanly. He has the craziest chin. And, maybe if he had a little bit more skill, I know this is just pure chins, but I think that you have to have success with your chin to be higher on the list. He's never been knocked out. I can't remember if he's ever been dropped before. I watched him fight Brendan Allen at 318. Pretty crazy fight. Brendan Allen just fucked him up on the feet, bro. Fucked him up on the ground as well. But yeah, man, Marvin Vettori, he has nothing in his skill set except for his chin, which is why we have to mention him, bro. And in short, Marvin Vettori's chin is so good that is literally just his entire identity. He has no slick striking, but he has the ability to just eat shots no matter what. So at number 3 on the list, I got Marvin Vettori. At number 2 on the list, I got Diego Lopes, man. And this is the whole reason I wanted to make this list, is because I started thinking to myself, after watching the Diego Lopes versus Gene Silva fight, I'm like, man, I feel like nobody else would have been able to eat those shots from Gene Silva. And this is why I picked Gene Silva. Gene Silva did so good when this fight was on the feet. I know he got knocked out, and it kind of sounds like some cope, right? But when this fight was just striking exchanges, the problem with Gene's, okay, I'm going to go on a little tangent here, but Gene Silva kind of just saw red, got over reckless, and he got hit with the spinning elbow. But when this fight was at fucking distance, Gene Silva was fucking up Lopes, bro. Literally just hitting him cleanly. And Diego Lopes just leaves his chin to be hit, but it doesn't matter, bro, because he's going to eat all of your best shots no matter what. But it's not just the Gene Silva fight that I have Diego Lopes this high up on my list, bro. You look at the Alexander Volkanovski fight, where that fight, Volk was hitting Lopes perfectly. And I know Volk kind of doesn't really have that much power in his hands, but he still has the ability to wobble people and hurt people. And he did wobble Lopes once in that fight, but he still wasn't able to put Lopes away. Lopes just ate that shit, bro. He just ate that shit from Volk with ease. And yeah, man, the Silva fight has really just changed my perspective on Diego Lopes a lot. I think he's going to be like a Dustin Poirier of featherweight, if you feel what I mean, where it's like he's going to be on the brink of getting the title shot always. He might get a couple of title shots. I'm not sure if he's good enough stylistically against Volk or somebody else to get the belt. Maybe after Volk leaves, he could become the champion, right? But I feel like Diego Lopes, he ate clean spinning elbows from Gene Silva. Gene Silva literally did the same kick that Anderson Silva knocked out. He knocked out, what's the fucking guy? Vitor Belfort. He hit the same shot, and Lopes just ate it like it was nothing. He ate it for breakfast, bro. So, yeah, man. I mean, Diego Lopes' chin is crazy. This might just be recency bias to have him this high on the list. But I wanted to just talk about this chin, bro, because it's crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy the way he's able to just eat shots like it's nothing. I feel like if Volk got hit with those shots that Gene Silva was throwing, he would get put away, man. You know? I feel like Arnold Allen, I don't know, Arnold Allen might get wobbled by one of those shots, bro. Gene Silva is a very good striker. And the way that Lopes was able to eat that shit was crazy. But he's not number 1 on my list. Number 1 on my list is Alejandro Pantoja. Pantoja, across his entire long career, has never been knocked out. He has fought killer after killer after killer. Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval, Kai Kara-France, who's one of the most powerful strikers in that division. They couldn't do shit to him, bro. Kai Asakura landed a clean flying knee right on Pantoja's chin, and he ate it for breakfast. Manel Kape, he won a round off of Pantoja where he was hitting him cleanly. The Royval fight, I mean, Pantoja ate so many shots in the Royval fight. And Pantoja just goes to war. He's kind of like Fluffy in the regard that he is a pressure fighter. He walks forward no matter what. He's a grappler. He wants to impose his will, take down his opponents and get the submission on them or beat him up on the ground. And to do that, you have to be able to eat shots. And Pantoja can eat shots. I think he's only ever been dropped by Davidson Figueiredo, who is probably the most powerful flyweight of all time. But his willingness to brawl, his durability, you can't fucking finish this guy. He ate shots clean from Urseg as well. Yeah, man, Pantoja, I think he has the best chin in the UFC right now. And it's just because he's fought the best fighters as well. So when we look at someone like Gastelum, for example, yeah, Gastelum, yeah, he has a good chin or whatever, but he doesn't fight the killers, bro. Like Kai Kara-France literally knocked out everybody. You know, he has the fucking one-hit knockout power at flyweight. Pantoja ate that shit. Kai Asakura, he was on a great win before he got to the UFC. Not great win. He was on a great run before he got to the UFC. Pantoja was able to eat his shit. Royval, we've seen how good Royval is. He was able to eat that shit. So the fight with Joshua Van is going to be very interesting because Van doesn't really have power. And so that's what kind of makes me nervous for him going into that fight is that he's not going to be able to knock out Pantoja. Will he be able to just out-volume him? Pantoja is there to be hit. He is there to be hit cleanly. And I do think that Joshua Van has good takedown defense, but I think that Pantoja's chin is just on another level, bro. When we're talking about the top of the fucking cream of the crop of the sport, gotta talk about Pantoja, man, for sure. But that will do it for the video. If you like the video, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.